In this lesson, we're going to go over how to create great video content. First, let's go over some ideas for video content that you can create. You can do things like tutorials, interviews, vlogs, which nowadays is more of that behind the scenes personal style video. Video vlog came from the term video blog, which could mean anything, but now the vlog term has meant that sort of DIY, recording yourself, selfie style video. Webinars, events, testimonials and reviews from your customers, live streams of any type on any type of social media, which could include things like tutorials or webinars or events or things like that. Or of course, there's just traditional types of videos like entertainment, documentary, comedy, drama, anything. You could come up with a scripted video for your business or brand as well. The key with content marketing and video, and you probably see this a lot more with big name brands, is that it's not always a commercial for a product or service. The product or service might play a part, but that's not really what the main video may be about. In California, we have a lot of ads from the Helpful Honda team. So Honda, the car maker, I don't know if they do this around the world, but this is their new style of ad where they actually just go out and do helpful things around the state. They will go remodel a faculty lounge at a local middle school. They'll go pay for someone's bills. They'll go hand out free hot dogs at a baseball game. Now, it's hard to tell if this is completely documentary. A lot of the times it seems like the people in it may be actors, may not be actors, but they're definitely partly acting in it. But that type of content, even though it's a commercial, it's not about the cars itself. It's just about them being helpful. And that's what they want to get across. That's their personality, that's their brand. And so that's the content they're creating and putting out in their commercials. And that's what content marketing is all about. Creating videos that are interesting for people to watch that aren't just a sales pitch. So what do you need to create great videos? Well, you need a camera. Nowadays, you can use your smartphone, a DSLR, mirrorless camera, even a webcam. Any of these cameras are great for beginners getting started. Most cameras, if you do any type of photography, can shoot great video. Even 5-10 years ago, when I was getting started out with my business, making video content was way harder than it is now. Now we can shoot 4K HD stabilized video that is well exposed, great colors from the tool that's in our pocket. So you don't have to get an expensive camera to make great videos. Start with what you have. For audio is important, and it is a little bit trickier than the video aspect because having great audio is really important. You can do something if you're creating videos with your computer, like using a USB microphone that plugs right into your computer and allows you to record better audio that way. Then there's different types of microphones like the lavalier lapel microphone. Those are the ones that clip onto your shirt, or the shotgun microphone, which is like a boom mic. You probably, if you recognize on the film sets, the person holding the boom pole, and then at the end, there's a microphone that they point at the person's mouth. Right now, I'm actually using a boom mic. You can probably hear that. I'm touching the shotgun microphone and it's pointing directly right in front of my mouth to get the best audio because I have this studio setup at my house and I want it to be set up all the time. I don't have to be worrying about clipping on a microphone or anything like that. So depending on how often you'll be making videos will determine how much money you want to invest in getting the video production equipment. Now I'm going over a lot of this and you might be wondering like, Phil, I want to know the specifics. I will include some links earlier in the course to gear that I use and recommend. You could also go to videoschoolonline.com and check out my resources page, which includes gear that I'm currently using and I approve of and recommend to people. If you're wanting to get a little bit more in depth in creating videos, we have a complete video production course that you can find on any of the platforms that you are watching this course on. And that course is great for complete beginners. It's co-taught with my buddies Sam Shimizu Jones and Will Carnahan. And it's, like I said, a great course for absolute beginners. We dive into all of this content a lot deeper. This course is not a video production course, so this is kind of a brief overview of the tools and the tips that you need to create great videos. But if you want to learn the actual production side of things, definitely check out that course. After you have a camera and a microphone, you don't necessarily need lights, but if you're filming indoors or if you want one setup that's going to look consistent, which is good for branding, consistency, having lights is a good idea. Nowadays, they make great LED light kits that are relatively inexpensive. If you go on Amazon.com and just type in LED light panel or LED video light, you'll see lots of options. And honestly, some of the cheaper options will be just fine if you're just getting started out. Right now, I use the Dracast set. So it's D-R-A-C-A-S-T, Dracast. And that's the brand that I use and trust, and I love their lights. I'm using 3 of them right now. And again, check out the Video Production Bootcamp or check out videoschoolonline.com. We've got lots of free articles that go over all of this stuff that if you don't want to pay for another course, you can learn over on videoschoolonline.com. If you don't have lights, you can even just use natural light coming in from a window or a door or sit outside. It is kind of an art to make natural light look good. You want to be sitting with the light shining on you. You don't want the window to be behind you because then it's going to be hard for you to be exposed properly. But that's definitely a viable option if you have a room that is well lit naturally. Any video is going to probably need some editing. The tool that I use is called Adobe Premiere Pro. Final Cut Pro X is another great professional tool. If you're looking for something a little bit more inexpensive and easier to use, Filmora and Apple iMovie are great options, or for Windows users, Windows Movie Maker. Those are great ways to just get started. And really with any of these tools, you can do the basics of editing out mistakes, adding music, adding titles, adding basic graphics or photos and things like that. And you can create great videos with any of these tools. And then lastly, if you don't want to be actually creating the videos yourself, you can outsource this. Upwork.com and Freelancer.com is another one that they're websites where you can hire freelancers to do any type of job for you. And I've outsourced a lot of editing, including the editing of this course itself, to a freelancer who lives on the other side of the globe. And that's the amazing world we live in nowadays, where you can do that for rather inexpensively. In terms of tips for creating better videos, you want to remember that each of your videos should be answering some sort of pain point for your customer. So again, go back to your customer personas, think about what pain points they have, and make a video that's going to help them out. Through your videos, you want to be telling a story. Even if it's not a narrative classic story, you're not creating the next Finding Nemo. This is a good thing to do, is to try to create a story and be a storyteller throughout your videos, because that's what engages your audience more than anything. You don't have to be a perfectionist though. As much as I think it's good to have a video that is easy to see, you can see the person in it, you can hear the person clearly. After that, you don't have to be, again, creating the next Hollywood film. Just be putting out content out there. You'll get better as you practice. And with all the online courses and tutorials and help out there right now, it's easy to learn how to create great videos. And a lot of it is just practice. And one of the most important things is to be authentic. Be honest, be yourself, share yourself. That's what I'm trying to do with this class. I'm trying to be completely authentic. I'm not telling you things that I don't know if it works or not. I'm not telling you things that I've never tried myself. I'm trying to be completely honest and authentic with you. And that's the worst. You've probably noted this. If you're on YouTube and a video pops up from someone who's trying to sell you something, you know it. You know if they're trying to sell you something. And that works for some people. Some people can get caught up in that. Some people are tricked by that, but most people aren't. And you're going to grow an audience and a business that likes, knows, and trusts you way better if you're completely authentic with them. And lastly, remember your calls to action. At the end of every video, during a video, even at the beginning of a video, in the video description, when you post it on YouTube or social media, make sure there's some action that you want your user to take. And that should be important for every single video that you create, some sort of action, even if it's just subscribing to your YouTube channel. It doesn't have to necessarily be going and buying a product. And more often than not, you don't want to directly have people send people to a product page from a video. That sometimes works, and that's worked for me on some videos on YouTube. But in general, when you're putting out content online, especially video content, people aren't in the mode of buying, right? People don't go to YouTube to buy things. If they're on Amazon and your ebook shows up, then they're likely to buy it because that's what mode they're in. They're in the mode of buying. If you're on udemy.com and you're looking for online classes, you're in the mode of buying. But if you're on YouTube and your ad pops up for buying something, then it's not going to work as well as creating great free video content that sends people to great free content on a website or on social media, and then building that trust through that. So your calls to action can be anything from directly to a product, but more often than not, if you're just growing a business, just sending people back to a web page that gives them great content, and then on that website is more of the start of your funnel with lead magnets and opt-in forms, all stuff we're going to be going over later in this class. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, if you're interested in taking it a step forward, check out our other courses on video production and check out our articles and free guides on videoschoolonline.com. Cheers.